Working in the modern day sucks. What sucks even more is working all of your time away and having nothing really to show for it in terms of making ends meet. And unfortunately, most people live like this, spending their entire life waiting for a miracle that just isn't coming. Whether you're an optimist and for you that's hitting the lottery one day, or if you're personally a little more conservative and you're just trying to reach the ripe old age of retirement, most of us will never reach our own individual imaginary promised lands. And if you personally feel like you're just as fucked as the rest of us, feel free to like, comment your thoughts, opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily uploads around here discussing the crumbling society that is the USA, as well as 2025. And I always like to start these videos off by giving a huge shout out to all my channel supporters, my Patreon supporters, my channel memberships, everybody who checks those links down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. Now, let's begin today's shit show, shall we?
Bro, just think about this, bro. Just think. When you get a car, right, you gotta pay for the car. Then you gotta pay for car insurance for the car. Then in some states you gotta pay for inspections and all that, right? Then you gotta pay for gas for the car to go. Then you gotta pay to maintain the car. And then after all that, you gotta pay for parking. Not to mention, you getting taxed on every single dollar that you spend in each one of them sections. But then, before you even get there, you getting taxed on your money when you first get the money. But hold on, then the bank is taxing you to have the money in there, and the ATM is taxing you to take the money out. And last but not least, there's a transaction fee within every single transaction.
And yet people still wonder why the majority of people have absolutely no passion in their work or anything they do in regards to making income. It's just kind of a forced reality that they have to do something to provide any sort of stability for themselves, which the stability is never really guaranteed at the end of the day. What he stated here is one of the biggest reasons why a person would have a vehicle. It doesn't really fit into the budget. It doesn't really matter how hard you work. At the end of the day, when you go home and you're still hungry, really don't have much to enjoy for yourself other than the hard day that didn't really fulfill you, the budget's really still not cutting it. So all these extra expenses that gets taxed and taxed and taxed, there's a little bit of a transaction fee on top of the transaction fee for every single thing you do in your life. Really, people look around and it's like, what's the point of it all? So, unfortunately, the US dollar, you really only get like a small percentage of what you actually get from it, and then that's tax as well. Rough society.
So this is what $5 gets you in Thailand. Popsicle, white, bag of chips, 2 bags of chips, Pringles, Pepsi, 1 bottle of water, 2 bottle of water, M&M's, and where's they gone? They gone. And then motherfuckers ask why I'm moving here.
Buddy's over there living like it's 1978. But at the same time, the budget's getting so tight over here in the US back home that people are packing up the gear with, the 2 bags they have left after they sold everything else to try to get by over here, loading up the paddy wagon and shipping it overseas or sailing over there to be able to live on the budget they actually are working so hard for. Actually, when you see this video, it's kind of bizarre to think that with a $1 US, well, $5 in this video, stretches so damn far. This right here would be like a $20 minimum spending limit at most of these little corner stores around here, and many of these little places, especially in the cities around here, where I live in the cities. Things can get expensive. Actually, even in the lower populated places like the countrysides, they make those even more expensive for things in those places because of the shipment cost, having to get things to those locations. Just a sad reality of the U.S. is that money does not stretch very far, even though we are the most money-hungry country in the world, it seems like. Maybe that's not true, but definitely it's a narrative, the stereotypical U.S. that we always hear about. But it's funny because I feel like the more the inflation goes up, that whole stereotypical, facade of being a fat American is going to go down and down and down because people here can't eat. But at the same time, people are still eating. They're eating Hostess cakes, they're eating ramen noodles, and they're eating whatever the leftovers they have on those free food apps.
I feel like there's a lot of people that don't fully understand the gravity of the economic situation in this country. There are questions we don't have the answers to. How many people are really living in their car? How many of those people are working or have multiple jobs? How many people are choosing between buying groceries or buying other basic necessities? How many people are in severe credit card debt? How many people aren't making their car payment or their mortgage payment? The way the economy looks is not an accurate representation, because that shit is being held together with duct tape and bubble gum. I'm not trying to fearmonger, it's just the reality of the situation we're in has been hidden from us. Like, I don't think we can truly understand. And the possibility of that house of cards just collapsing is concerning. We should be concerned. And the whole thing's fake. Like, we really do have a subscription to life, and most people are 1 or 2 paychecks away from total disaster. Nobody owns anything. They don't own their house, they don't own their car. They are having to put groceries on credit cards. I'm having to put groceries on credit cards.
Now, the nightmare reality that this girl just put on display for us is the common day-to-day for most people here in America, despite whatever news or propaganda wants you to believe. It's true. Most people here are only a few months away from losing it all. I mean, come on now, you can really tell by the look on the lady's face, the dread in her eyes, and the way you can almost tell their soul's been sucked out of her through her time clock sheet after punching in overtime hour after overtime hour to still go to bed hungry. And just a little something that put a bag full of ants in my pants the other day is when I was personally, living in between paychecks and lacking funds for my weekly grocery budget, and I noticed that the majority of my local food shelves are women and children only. And for the majority of them, you have to have some sort of ticket process to even get into the door, because there is an overwhelmingly long list of people who need help from a service like this. So, a 25-year-old guy like me, you better get back to work, buddy, or you might just starve there on the street corner. And unfortunately, with the state of the economy here in America and our modern-day tax system, you might just work that job and starve anyway. So yeah, Americans love to complain. Nothing new here. Although, unfortunately, some complaints do hold true and are most definitely overlooked. And I try my best to stay as close to the middle as I can in a lot of these topics I cover here on the page, because truthfully, I personally feel like it's more rich versus poor here in America, and not the red versus blue world that they try to sell us, or black versus white, man versus woman, or whatever specific sports team that you were grown up believing in, and you most definitely argue over at work. They'll try their hardest to divide us in as many different ways as possible, because they all know deep down that individuals are pretty damn weak, while a group of like-minded people can be dangerous to the broadcasting media that is being infiltrated through the minds of people today. So, if you have any personal thoughts or opinions regarding the current agenda that is being spewed to us, or if you have any other thoughts or opinions regarding anything discussed in this video, feel free to like, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily uploads around here discussing all this bullshit. And again, I always like to make it more than clear of how appreciative I am and all the people that go above and beyond and check out those donation links down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. Now, hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to check out any of the other ones on my catalog if you like stuff like this, or feel free to check out my upcoming videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.